The sun began its descent, casting long shadows through the dense woodland. Birdsong, once a symphony of the forest, faded into an unsettling quiet. Rajesh, an experienced hiker, realized with a jolt that he was lost. He had been so engrossed in the beauty of the rare wildflowers, he had strayed from the trail. Panic welled up, threatening to overwhelm him. He knew he had to get a grip on himself. The forest, as beautiful as it was, could be unforgiving at night. Survival, he reminded himself, started with a clear head. Rajesh's first instinct was to run, to find the trail somehow. But he remembered the cardinal rule of being lost: don't panic. Easier said than done, he thought, as the shadows grew longer. He forced himself to take deep breaths, calming his racing heart. He needed a plan, and he needed it fast. As darkness crept in, the temperature dropped, sending a chill through Rajesh's body. He knew that finding or building shelter was paramount. The wilderness could be unpredictable, and tonight, it was better to be safe than sorry. He remembered reading somewhere that a simple lean-to could mean the difference between a comfortable night and a freezing ordeal. Right, he muttered to himself, shelter first, then food and water. Rajesh had read about the STOP method in a survival blog and decided to put it into practice. Stop, think, observe, plan. He stopped walking, took a deep breath, and calmed himself. He thought about where he had last seen the trail markers. He observed his surroundings for any familiar landmarks or potential resources. Looking around, he noticed a small stream gurgling nearby. Water, that was a good sign. He also noticed a cluster of large rocks that could provide some cover. His plan began to take shape. He would secure a basic shelter near the stream, giving him access to water. Then, he would focus on signaling for help. Remembering the advice of experienced hikers, he decided to stay put. Wandering aimlessly would only worsen his situation. Rescue teams had a better chance of finding him if he stayed in one place. Besides, the stream was a valuable resource. Rajesh knew that finding a natural shelter would save him time and energy. He remembered reading about how trees could provide excellent cover. He spotted a massive banyan tree with its thick roots forming a natural enclosure. The overhanging branches and dense foliage would offer protection from the elements. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. He recalled other natural shelters he had read about: caves, overhangs, even fallen logs. However, he knew that caves could be home to animals, and he wanted to avoid any unwanted encounters. He continued to scout the area, keeping an eye out for any potential hazards. His search for a better shelter led him to a shallow cave formed by a rocky outcrop. It wasn't deep, but it provided ample cover from the wind and potential rain. Satisfied with his find, Rajesh gathered some dry leaves and branches to create a makeshift bed. He knew that staying warm was crucial for survival. Section 4. Building a lean-to. While the cave provided decent shelter, Rajesh also considered building a lean-to as a backup option. He remembered the basic structure: two sturdy branches forked at the top, a long branch connecting them horizontally, and smaller branches leaning against the horizontal one to form the roof. He would then cover the roof with leaves, bark, and other natural debris to create a waterproof layer. The steeper the angle of the roof, the better it would shed rain. He reminded himself that the lean-to didn't have to be perfect, just functional. Rajesh gathered branches of varying thicknesses, searching for a sturdy forked branch for the main support. He found a large rock to use as a hammer, wedging smaller branches into the ground to create the lean-to's frame. He knew that building a fire reflector wall opposite the opening would help radiate heat back into the shelter. Section 5. The importance of fire. Fire, Rajesh knew, was crucial for survival. It provided warmth, a psychological boost, and a way to purify water. He gathered dry tinder, kindling, and larger pieces of wood. He carefully constructed a small platform of rocks to keep his fire off the damp ground. Using his lighter, he sparked a flame, carefully nurturing it until it grew into a healthy blaze. The warmth from the fire was instant relief. He knew that keeping the fire going throughout the night would be essential for staying warm. He gathered more wood, stacking it a safe distance from the flames. The dancing flames also provided a sense of comfort, a beacon in the gathering darkness. Rajesh also knew that fire could be a signal for help. He found a clearing and started a new fire there, piling on green branches to create more smoke. The smoke, he hoped, would attract attention during the day. Section 6. Staying positive and seeking help. As darkness enveloped the forest, Rajesh knew that maintaining a positive attitude was crucial. He thought about his family, his friends, and the hope of being rescued. He reminded himself that he had taken all the necessary precautions and that he was well prepared for this situation. He had his emergency whistle, a mirror for signaling, and enough food and water to last for a couple of days. He would ration his supplies carefully. He knew that rescue teams would be searching for him, and he had to stay strong and optimistic. He blew 3 sharp blasts on his whistle, the universal signal for help. He repeated the signal every few minutes, hoping that someone would hear him. As he sat by the fire, gazing up at the starlit sky, he felt a surge of gratitude for the skills he had learned and the will to survive. He was lost, but not defeated. He would be found.